So, hello everyone. Welcome to Spiritism at Noon. And we are studying the book Empty Lives by Joanna de Angelis in collaboration with Divaldo Franco. Today we are going to be studying the topic 24, the chapter 24, that talks about kindness. And I thought it was a very good topic to start the year, maybe to even think about making it a resolution for our new year. So let me share my screen with you. And as always, we are going to begin to read and commenting afterwards the uh, what we thought and how we think we can put in place this recommendation by Joanna de Angelis. So, regarding kindness, careful observer will notice that everything in the universe is under the guidance of the law of order, which is responsible for cosmic harmony. In nature, there is the presence of beauty, which varies infinitely in obedience to an intentionally planned program. Everything is subject to the divine plan, including disastrous occurrences that transcend the superficial appearance that has been established as the correct and accepted one. Likewise, in human relationships, kindness should be the rule, through which progress is achieved more rapidly. However, due to the different evolutionary levels of the individuals who make up society, the presence of friction is more constant than in its absence. In the early stages of evolution, selfishness predominates, and consequently, individuals constantly attribute values to themselves that they do not actually have, projecting their imperfections onto others. Okay, let's stop here and let's see what she is, in the beginning of this chapter, what she's talking to us about kindness. So she starts by mentioning the universe, all the everything being under the law of order, the cosmic harmony, everything in nature, the way it works, showing that there is a divine plan behind all that. And when we are talking about the divine plan, when we are talking about God, of course, we are talking about love in a way that we still have no idea what it is. So it's love to its most. And that is represented in all the virtues that we can think of. And of course, mentioning this one that Joanna de Angelis is talking to us about, which is kindness. But she says that when we look the things that are under the direction, so to say, of God, right? That really are following this law of order and the divine plan, everything works as if it should be working. Even when there are things that we do not understand, why is it going to rain exactly in the day of the um, Thanksgiving parade, right? Or other things that happen, of course, much more difficult and disastrous that we have in terms of nature. But as she's explaining, everything is part of a plan. It is the result of all this process of evolvement. But when we are talking about human relationships, where kindness should prevail, because at the end of the day, the truth is we all need one another. We all need the assistance and expertise of one another. So she says that in this case, we will find it very difficult to see kindness prevailing. There is always friction, but one thing that really, caught my attention when I was reading this passage is this paragraph where she says, in the early stages of evolution, selfishness predominates, etc. So, in case we were in doubt, she makes it clear here that we are in the early stages of evolution. The good news is that there is so much more ahead of us in terms of improvement. We're only going to get better. But so far, we have to realize that we are just starting. And we may feel full of ourselves, thinking that we are, the super best. But there is so much more that we have to accomplish. Any question or comment to this point? Okay, so let's read a little more. Okay. In view of the situation, aggressions, clashes of opinion, disrespect, and a whole host of spiritual and moral imperfections are more common. Concerned exclusive with their pride, these individuals are rude, impolite, unpleasant, and difficult to get along with. Thus, it is not surprising that there are continuous aggravations, constant tests of patience and kindness. The acquisition of ethical values takes place very slowly because of the prevalence of lamentable moral qualities. Social harmony is a real challenge due to ignorance or the habit of enforcing general health and educational policies. Individuals suffering from dysthymia, who is a kind of depression, who are always bad-tempered, behave in an approachable and friendly way, yet they insist on being treated kindly by everyone around them. Inflexible when it comes to expecting good manners from everybody, they personally indulge in constant sulking. Physical existence is a long experience to which the spirit submitted in order to polish out its imperfections and acquire more evolved behavior and structures. So here is the fact, right? As human beings, at the early stages of evolution, where imperfections still prevail in us. And if we try to make a comparison in terms of, a child that is dependent on the adults for everything, that thinks that the world revolves around them, because otherwise they cannot survive. So everyone is serving me because I need to survive. So as a spirits, many times we are like this child, children. We think that everyone and everything is there just to please us and just to serve us. That's why we are careless with nature. We are careless in our relationships. Like she says here, many times we think that, others have to treat us with the and always being their best behaviors, always being kind and serving us, when the opposite does not occur. For one reason or another, we think that we are entitled to everything without giving back the same kind of treatment that we are receiving. So this is why it is so difficult, you know, for us, you know, to deal with relationships. Not to mention, like she says here, many times because we are depressed, because we are dismayed with life situations, we we excuse ourselves. You see, I'm not treating others better because I'm the one that needs attention. I'm the one that is ill. I'm the one that has been going through so much. I'm the one, etc., etc., etc. And then we excuse our behaviors because, you know, life has been difficult to me. My health has been difficult to me. My family, you know, you got the picture, right? And
Yeah.
this is what happens here, and why she is emphasizing this way of treating others. That is something that Jesus, and it's the golden rule, right? Do to others what you expect others to do to yourself. Question, comments? No.
when we read things, and then in general, I was thinking, oh, I know someone like things. And then after sentence, then I realize in certain way, in one time, I'm this person too. Because usually I try to be a nice person, but in one ambient with someone like with aggression, bad words, not good behavior, it's like contaminates this ambient. In the end of a time, we are thinking and feeling the same way. Usually upset. Then when finish that meeting, I start to, that person is not good person. And then what make me different and between me and that person if I behave the same way?
Mhm. Yeah, yes, you're right, Sonia. And I was thinking there are some, you know, magic words that not necessarily are good that we say to ourselves and we say to others. How many times we said to others, you know, today it's not a good day for me. I'm not okay. So, right? Dot, dot, dot. When we say that,
Yes.
it means, listen, I may treat you poorly and this and that. Not going to be considered, but you'll have to excuse me because I said the magic words. I'm not okay today, right? It's nonsense. It's very sensitive on our parts. I mean, if you feel that you really can have a hard time dealing with others, just stay home or, you know, do something to today that is easy. Even when in your work you can just say, you know, I'm going to be working from home today, you know, I need to be working from home today, and try to do something, but do not try to impose or expecting from others that they will accept your, you know, mistreatment just because you said you were not okay, right? And they have their things going on as well. And you're right, Sonia. It's so easy for us to go through this way thinking, oh yeah, I know a person that it's, and then like you said, when we think a bit more, oh my gosh, yeah, it is still me. Maybe, thank God, not all the time, because yeah, I'm trying to do the good work of changing myself and being more mindful of my behaviors. But we cannot say that this does not happen to us.
Yeah. Usually, when I know I'm going to meet someone that I know is that word dysthymia, always with bad temper, always with bad words, always treat the others in not kind way. Most of time, I prepare myself for this meeting. Then I know this person usually have this kind of behavior. And then usually it's like I protect myself from this kind of energy. But in other ways, I usually open my heart and then this energy contaminates.
Mhm.
And then I usually like give the answer in not good way.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not easy. We try to be kind, to be understand, but my level of development, it's not there yet. Then it's not for everybody.
You know, so
Sorry, go ahead.
sorry, Giselle. I create a sentence in this final of this year. My sentence is every moment when someone came to me and started to talk about bad about other persons or the other people, I said, what can I do? This is my sentence. And this super worked because the people didn't want to answer. They don't want to answer this question. What can I do? So a lot of people came to me, start to talk about another person. They do bad things. He's not good. La 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 la. And I said, what can I do? What can I talk to you about this? I always answer this way and work it.
Oh, nice. That's nice. Thank you for letting us know. I think I'm going to try to use that. Yeah. What can I do?
Em português, o que eu posso te falar? O que eu posso te
What
falar?
can I say? What can I say? Right? What can I say? I was thinking, Sonia, when there was an analogy that came to my mind when you were talking about. It's like, we are woods in a fireplace. Okay. We are there, quiet, but if a match comes and we allow the match to hit us, then it's certainly fire. So this is the trick here, is how can we, as woods in a fireplace, avoid being touched by this spark that is going to lead us and make us lose control. It seems almost impossible, but it's not, right? I mean, in the case of the poor wood in the fireplace, maybe not, but just as an analogy. Yes, Sarita?
Yes, I'm saying like now for the new year, we're with family members, right? And I think that's the hardest of all. And there's always something there that it's going to spark your kindness has to come out. It just has to come out if you want to have it in peace and niceness. So we go. That's the way I go. I go prepared because I know my family. And no one here is, I'm not perfect, surely not. But, we have to come prepared with this, regarding, like she says, she's so beautiful, kindness. That's very difficult to do at times. Very difficult. You have to, resign ourselves to keeping ourselves in protection gear. Don't let them come and upset you. Think positive. All these positive thoughts have to come to you before you go in and you're in a group of family members, especially. I hate to say that, but it is what it is. Family sometimes will, turn you upside down, but you have to come prepared. And with this understanding that, surely aggression and disrespect, I am not going that way. I am not going to do it. So we have to be observant and understand what Joanna de Angelis is trying to tell us here. Some people are just bad tempted, like it says here, and you can't get through them. You can't get through them. So what do? You just step back and leave it ride. What else could you do? Not going to go into arguments or trying to discuss something that at that time, it's not time for this. You just have to go prepared with this kindness and keep it in our hearts all the time.
I agree, because we can't live alone. No, she was talking about living in society is a law. So sometimes it's obvious it's easier to live alone because you won't have problems. We won't have discussions. You are alone. So can't. And so I think prepared is the best way to live. Thinking before, or if you know that you are going to a place, there is fire, like Sara is talking about. So
exactly.
maybe you need prepared better before to come this place that is in fire.
Yeah, go as the, a wet wood.
Wet wood.
Wet wood is the prevention, right? I mean, it's hard for the fire to get to us. But
Right.
I was thinking, Sarita, when you were talking about it, that unfortunately, as family, right, we many times abuse our family members.
Yeah.
Because we think back in our minds, we say to ourselves, they are family, they will have to keep on loving me and accepting me no matter what. And so there is no filter, there is no politeness, and there is this demand that you have to accept me the way I am, and I can always show you my true colors without measuring the consequences, because we see in society we are going to be behaving differently. So we say, oh, but it's just a mask. Well, if the more you train, fake it, you will make it. Okay. And fake it with me as well, because we are family. So we have to think about it, because sometimes there is this as well, we are not that much considerate in kindness with our family because we think that they do not deserve the rules that we apply in living in society. So let's read a little more.
Yeah.
In light of Christianity, which is based on love, one should make every effort to polish out one's bad inclinations, thereby fulfilling the postulates on which Jesus modeled his teachings and his conduct. Step by step, the treasures of knowledge are acquired and incorporated into the spirit, promoting the exteriorization of well-being, balance, and solidarity. Charity, which is the noblest expression of love, its climax, becomes a normal occurrence in the way people coexist with one another. That is why in studies of the gospel of Jesus, the moral question becomes important, since it is true individuals' inner transformation that they conduct themselves as examples of faith, of messengers of joy and kindness, Jesus is still the kindest man that humanity has ever known. His whole ministry was a hymn of exaltation to balance, harmony, kindness. Living in a time of spiritual backwardness, he confronted the pride that dominated the human beings he had come to educate in order to help them transform themselves into luminaries capable of shortening the days of darkness and ignorance. Harshness and aggressiveness, indifference and lovelessness were everywhere, and the struggles for deceptive power exhausted the apostle of the good. He faced centuries of old stupidity and cruelty while demonstrating that kindness, the offspring of wisdom, is an invincible force on the battlefield of the world. He knew everything that was in store for him. Yet, out of his love for all, he chose to come and teach the only way to achieve plenitude, which is only possible through love. So, as always, uh, in her methodology of presenting to us a new topic, she tackles the topic directly. And in this case, showing that everything that is under divine law, the law of order, works in harmony and follows a guidance. But because human beings were created different, right? We are the intelligent beings of the universe, and we have our free will. So it's not that we can be manipulated by forces unless we allow that to happen, be it the good forces that comes from the benefactors or the negative forces, the bad forces that comes from those who are like us or even more difficult than we are, right? But she's emphasizing the need for kindness, for us to reason how insensitive on our part it is to expect others to always be on their best behavior with us when we ourselves are not making the effort to be truly called children of God. And then she brings Jesus. Why? Because she wants to bring religion? No, because she wants to bring the guide and model of humanity, as we have in question 625 of the Spirit's book, right? What is the guide and model that we can follow? That is Jesus. Look at Jesus, right? So here, it's not that we have to assume an attitude of saying, oh, but it was Jesus. I'm not Jesus. No, not yet. And it's going to take a longer time if you do not convince yourself that, like us, Jesus is also a child of God. And he himself said that we were gods and that we could do what he did and much more. Those are his words. So here, I mean, he was living in a very primitive era, right? Because, according to ourselves, if we look back 2,000 years ago, who would like to change and move back to 2,000 years ago? No one, right? I mean, I would like to have just a tour to witness some important events, but no, I still prefer to be on 2024, right?
Yeah.
And then she says he was the kindest person that we had until today. There was nothing, no attacks, no words, nothing that moved him from what he was, he is.
Mm.
Serenity, faith, complete faith, and not faith only in God, but faith in humankind. Understanding that, yeah, I'm dealing with children here, not even toddlers, but they will grow, they will learn. And me as the adult, I have to teach them. So we should assume the same posture as Jesus, you know. If you wanted to think more of yourself, don't think more in terms of, oh, I'm special, I deserve more privilege, but think more in terms of the struggle, the inner struggle that you're going through in order to conquer yourself. And in this way, you can say to yourself proudly, yes, I am doing my best to become a good person. And in this sense, when we look down and we don't see people doing the same things, let us not go backwards.
Mm.
Let us just, try to withstand all this, like it says here, harshness, aggressiveness, indifference, loveliness that is all around, and not succumb to the idea of moving back ourselves, throwing away everything that we have conquered, just to be in a level that we no longer want to be part of.
Mm.
Question, comment? So, do not let yourself be overwhelmed or discouraged when insulted, disrespect, or misunderstood. Expect nothing from the stone but hardness. Your kindly conduct will smooth the hard edges of bruteness and change its face, making it a valuable instrument of utility and value. Do not identify with brutes, making yourself their equals in the grotesque way they treat you. Smile when victimized and be kind to them. The transformation of society for the better occurs through your affable persistence. You are destined for the stars, so do not hinder your ascent due to childish impediments. Oh, that's so beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. We know better. And even if, like Sonia was saying, we're not completely there yet,
Mm-mm.
it doesn't mean that even when we realize that we behave it in a way that we shouldn't, and that is not more in agreement with what we want it to be, we just shake the dust off and start again. Pick up ourselves, rise up, and
Okay.
start again. You know, the more we try, the more we will be able to do it. And you see the way she described here, what we were, right? What we used to be. Again, not saying that we are the best today, but definitely so much better than we were yesterday. And our destiny is the stars. Why am I going to keep on, prolonging uh, this suffering and this living among the shadows?
Yeah. Yeah. Josada,
Yeah.
I feel sometimes when there's an occasion that we go through, or whatever, we're going to go shopping, or you're going to go to buy whatever we need. I think that helps me a lot, and I'm sure all of us, that you leave your home with prayers in your heart.
Mhm.
And I believe that when I go out there, you don't see so much negativeness. You know, if you go to a supermarket, you go shopping, you go, and somehow it doesn't bother when you leave with this prayer in your heart. I always feel that I'm protected and guided. And that's what helps. If anything occurs, you know, a lot of good thoughts come to your mind, and they're there helping you, whatever the situation. And many times we all go out and we do our things in life, but when we go with this this thing of peacefulness and godly good things, how could anything happen, you know, without you realizing something is coming? There is always there, you're always protected. That's the way I feel. I'm always protected and guided, and I don't feel so aggravated. You know, you go with this good thoughts, and you know that you're protected. How could you lose? You're not going to lose. Just keep ourselves focused and with God's love and prayers. How could we lose? There's nowhere we could lose. And yes, we're going to go through our trials and tribulations. We know that. But again, we know that we are protected, and they're there to help us and guide us. And to believe that is, I believe, is most important. So it is what it is.
Yeah. But you see it today that we, we are understanding more about the us as immortal spirits, energy and the radiation, the aura that is around us. It's easier to understand what happens here, if really we leave home already surrounded by an aura of peace and goodwill. And it's like not only nothing can penetrate, but it's like, when I arrive in a place, my energy predominates over the other. And it's my theory about the elevator, when you take an elevator and there are just two people, they are going to be in the extreme of each part of the elevator. And sometimes we think about that we only want to give space for the other person, but it is really energy space.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if I approach to a distance of, I don't know, 10 inches, we are still not going to be touching anyone, but all our aura, our energy are going to be touching. So this is what I'm talking about here, when we leave home with this
Aura.
kind of, shield of protection and light.
Yeah.
Okay. Understand that you have been sent by the celestial embassy to invite others to the banquet of immortality triumphant, and you will have to descend into ignorance and misfortune to help them attain plenitude. Your steps and your words will create a happy environment. Thus, you will not allow evil to triumph. Furthermore, on your enlightening journey, you will have the presence and inspiration of the angels of peace and joy, keeping you joyful and happy. The world right now is a battleground on which the forces of evil, the offspring of age-old primitivism, have freely set up camp and are continuously on the lookout for any and all movements that could destroy them. They will persist using well-crafted snares to lure they resolute and faint-hearted into their webs. Aware of the damage they cause, embrace the ideals of Christ and hurry along, not giving way in any situation. Even if it is a sacrifice for you to renounce deceptive pleasures, you will never regret choosing the composure of ethics and selfless work. There will be plenty of embarrassing situations to prevent you from advancing. And there will be no lack of friends and co-religionists who will curse your uplifting perseverance. They will be the elements that you will face every day, insisting that you remain in the shadow of cruelty. Forgive them and press on just the same. Jesus is waiting for you.
Wow.
And now she becomes very realistic when she presents to us why we are here and why we are also living among difficult people. Because imagine if they couldn't have any kind of guidance, any kind of light, even if it's this tiny little light that we represent, they would be in total darkness. This is why we have difficult family members.
Mm.
Because of Jesus and God's love towards us all. We cannot leave a group of people without receiving a little bit of kindness, a little bit of guidance, so that they can themselves start thinking about taking a different direction. It's not going to be easy, like she says. There will be a lot of forces that will try to lead us to give up. Because this is what they do. They don't want to lose control.
Yeah.
But the control do not belong to them. They are not the ones that are in charge of planet Earth and its citizens. The one that is absolutely Jesus. And Jesus is not just waiting for us, but he's counting on us to be true to our commitments before our reincarnation. And when it was time for us to return, our life program was, the highlights of our life program were presented to us. And this was one of the items for sure, maybe the first one in the long list of things that we had to accomplish due to its importance. And so it is really up to us to just go and do what we have been delaying for quite some time. And this is exactly, hindering our progress.
You started about my study group, gospel. I was almost giving up before starting because I had just two friends. It's difficult. They come here. Everything is going bad. And I said, okay, I won't do this. But some things saying to me, no, you need to do. When I started, I don't know what's happening. Some friend put me into a group, a Brazilian group, and I needed to present myself. And I always say, I am spirit in this kind of presentations. I like to do this. And in this moment, I say, okay, and I have a group Friday. I don't know what's happening. I have 8 people in this group, study group.
It's
So
awesome.
I wanted to give up, and now I have 8 people waiting to me every Friday. So it's the work. I need to work, even and sometimes I think, no, not I'm not so good. It's not happening. So now I'm working in this. And like you said, no, we need to present, we need to work to Jesus, not for us. No, it doesn't matter if we are good or no. We are not working for us. No, We do our part.
Mhm. Very good, very
Yeah.
good. Okay, let's read the end of this chapter. New days are dawning, announcing the victory of love. Have faith. The
Mm.
storm is not the natural climate of the planet. The springtime of kindness is.
Mm.
Therefore, today be a flower that will bear fruit
Yes.
in blessings tomorrow. So I thought this was a very beautiful lesson and a topic for us to start the year. And every year, like I said, I really like to pick one of those, big topics, objectives to represent my goal for the year. And I thought, kindness, always be mindful of our behavior and being kind to one another in each and every situation. Because at the end of the day, like we said, we are all children of God, and we all deserve respect. But above all, we are the ones that at this point in time should be giving it to each and every one. So thank you, Joanna de Angelis, for this beautiful lesson and for reminding us that if each one of us do our part, we will see a better world.
Yes.
So that's it for today, my friends. Soraya, can you do the final prayer for us, please?
Absolutely. Absolutely. My pleasure. And now, dear Father, as we come to the end of our beautiful lesson here today, we thank our Father, Jesus Christ, our spiritual benefactors that have come today in assisting our teacher, Jusada, in our lessons given today of kindness. And most important, to allow us to do our part in relating this lesson in our daily lives. Now that a new year has started, we have the time, the energy, and the love from our Father. We cannot fail with this. May we continue in our work and studies as much as possible. And as we end this study group today, we ask that we continue to pray in our homes for our families, our loved ones, and the world in general, the spirit world and the physical world. And return again next week. And with this in mind, we ask permission, dear Lord, to close our meeting today. So be it.
So be it. Have a good week and happy 24.